Hello and welcome. In this video we're going to make a bandsaw box, and this was the challenge that was set by Hugh over at Wouldn't It Be Nice. All the links will be down in the description. Go and check out Hugh's channel, go and check out the other competitors. This is for the June challenge in the YouTube cross-channel challenge 2021 that was set by Tournage Dubois. My bandsaw has a throat depth of about 8 centimetres, so this is going to be quite a small box, but I think that we're going to be able to do something really special with this. The woods that I'm going to be using for this box is a bit of Sapele, bit of Purple Heart, this awesome bit of Birdseye maple that I've been keeping just for the right project, and I think this is going to make a really nice feature on the front of that box. And then I've got a little bit of maple and a little bit of walnut that I'm going to use just for some accents. First things first is we're going to make the blank up. And we're going to do that by cutting up some wood on the table saw. My blank needs to be quite small, and I'm going for an 8cm by 8cm by 12cm block. So for my American friends, that's 3.1 inch by 3.1 inch by 4.7 inches. I'm going to make this up as a sandwich, so what I need to do is cut 2 equal bits of Sapele, and that will be for the front and the back, and in the sandwich will be 2 equal bits of maple, and I want these to be really quite chunky, and you'll see why as we start to move through the project. And then in the middle, what I want is just a little bit of Purple Heart, just to give a bit of a colour feature when you're looking at the side of the box. I've decided that what I want is the end grain for all the pieces to be on the sides rather than the top and the bottom. So I'm going to cut my blank, so that's what I make up. My maple has got a lovely grain pattern to it, and I'm going to try and tactically cut this. It's going to seem really wasteful, but I'm going to cut a blank out of the middle of this just to maximise the amount of bird's eyes that I can get into that piece, because I really, really want to make it a feature of this box. So I've got these 2 bits of maple really nice and flat, but as you can see, the bird's eye is really prominent on just one of the faces. There's a little bit in here, there's a little bit in here, but there's not much on here. So what I've done so I can keep track is I've just marked up my show face on the ends, so I know which one I'm going to keep and make a feature of. The glue that I'm using is Type 1-3, but you could use any glue. It's just what I've got on hand because I was making up a load of chopping boards not so long back. I'm going to leave it to glue up overnight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and see what we've got. So this is my blank. I've got a 6 tooth per inch blade, which is a 1/4 inch wide. I think these gaps are going to be a little bit too, I think the corners are going to be a little bit too tight to get around, so we'll see how we do with that. I'm going to cut 1 box out of here because this is quite a small box and the throat of my bandsaw is quite small. I don't think I'm going to be able to cut the 3 drawers that I thought I was going to be able to cut, so I'm going to cut 1 big box, 1 big drawer, and then use the other 2 bits as a decorative piece on the front of this box. It's now time to form the front and the back of the drawers. I'm going to cut the back off, cut the front off, scoop out the middle, glue it back together, and then I'll do my final sanding once it's all in place. I've got my bits of box all sanded now, all on the outside of the box. I'm going to line some of the bits that I haven't sanded with felt after I've sanded and finished, ready to go. I'm going to put the back on and I'm going to put a chamfer around this bit of the box, and then a round over on all of the corners and edges. Now this is a little bit too thin in order to put a chamfer around, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up a little jig around just with some clamps, nothing permanent, so that the router has got a little bit more to rest on as we go around and make the chamfer. So I'm not going to have a draw front on this, I'm not going to have a pull. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to drill a hole in the back panel, and I'm going to take the opportunity while it's not glued on to chamfer the edges so that it's nice and smooth on both sides. So I'm going to drill the hole, chamfer them off, sand it all down, and then stick the back, and then I can flush trim the back to the rest of the box. Fix that mistake that I made with the round over bit. Just sanded it all back and sanded all the burn marks off, and now what I want to do is I want to put a bit of a round over the top of the face of this. So it's meant to be a TV, so if you're old enough you'll remember the old CRT TVs, and they had a domed front. So what I'm going to attempt to do is try and sand out a bit of a dome, and we'll see how that goes. Got some felt cut ready, so let's line the inside of the box and the inside of the drawer. The inside of the box will just give a bit of resistance so that the drawer doesn't keep falling out. Okay, we've got the back glued on now. It's flush trimmed all the way around, and we put that round over on. Also did a bit of sanding just to blend that in a bit nicer. I'm going to do some hand sanding now, just to take out some of those burn marks from Rita, just to make it nice and super smooth. While we're doing all the other bits, the last finishing pieces, because this is Purple Heart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this out in the sun, just so it soaks up those UV rays and goes a bit more purple. Last few bits left to do. I've got everything to glue up. Once it's glued up and the legs are on the bottom, I'm going to flatten off the bottoms of the feet so it sits nice and flat. So here it is, my very first bandsaw box. Absolutely love this build. It's such a fun little thing to do. Really, really pleased with how it came out. A few little mistakes that I'll know not to do next time, but really happy with the tapered legs. I'm really happy with the aerial on top. That's the first time I've tried to turn anything that resembles a sphere. I'm really, really happy with how the dome came out in the front, and that Birdseye maple really, really sets that off. So thanks to Hugh over at Wouldn't It Be Nice for setting the challenge. Look out for the next challenge coming up for July and go and check out some of the other competitors. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out, really helps us grow. And check out the other competitors in the YouTube Cross Channel Challenge 2021 in the links below.